Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wout, and we've got Kylio13 with me here in the booth today, and we have some shenanigans.
Gotta love those shenanigans.
Yeah, you might notice how there's only two characters on the screen, and a couple of nuns. So ADR and Pickles and Beer have agreed that they are going to take only the two characters that the flags force, the Forced Melee and Forced Mage. And they are not going to be recruiting, so the party you see in front of you is the only party that exists. And we're going to have an interesting little bit of a start, aren't we, Kylio?
Definitely. They rolled some interesting blur things. I'm excited to see, definitely ready to see this early game.
Yeah. So the fighter is going to be rocking a plus 10 MDef today, as well as a plus 20 hit percent. Which is beautiful. The downside is this fighter is starting with minus 30 HP, so I believe that fighter is starting with 5 hit points.
That's enough.
That's enough to get through. The red mage, meanwhile, is going to be having a couple of shots of temper at 8th level to start, and also gets a bump to hit percent. Only 10%, but every little bit counts. You know, that's, I think, 5 levels on the red mage. So, very handy. Downside is this red mage also starting with a hit point deficit. Only 15 HP though, so I believe that means these two characters will have a combined 20 HP to start the game, but they'll get out of the weeds quickly. Just need a good sweeper, and we do start with a sweeper in these flag sets as an item, so as long as the imps don't have something rude and nasty, we should be fine to get out of the early game.
Gotta love those nuke imps whenever they show up.
But yeah, so for folks who may be joining us for the first time, Kylio, do you kind of want to talk about what the objective is here?
So for this particular part of the winter tournament that we've got going on, usually in Final Fantasy, it is you need your 4 orbs and your loot and key to get into Topher. However, it's going to be a little bit quicker than that on this. You only need to light 2 orbs, and you still need your loot and your key, and then you're ready for Topher.
Ready. All of the quotation marks. Yeah, so what's fun about these flags is the fact that, like, you can have your go mode, 20 minutes into a seed, and not actually touch the final dungeon for another 20 minutes. Because you just need power.
Yeah, maybe ready isn't the right word. You have the ability to enter
Access.
Topher.
Access, I think, is the word we want.
Access to Topher. There you go. That's much better.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting, because the thing is the nice thing about them both running 2-man is so the way the experience works in Final Fantasy 1, a given encounter has like a fixed experience amount, and at the end of the fight, the experience you earn is divided evenly among all living party members. So those nuns count as dead party members. So basically, we are going to be leveling twice as fast as if we'd taken a normal seed, and we are off, and it looks like we got a little bit of a winter wonderland on ADR's side.
Yeah, I noticed that. And we've got Fire 3, Lit 2 on the White Black Magic side, with Harm 3 and Cure 2 for these early level 1 spells.
Yeah, we are not taking that Harm 3. Anything that Harm 3 would be useful for, Fire 3 is better for. But, and without a White Mage, we don't even, we're not going to be leveraging those either, so. Either way, both runners jumping off the gate, neither one of them giving us a chance to see what the sweeper is, it looked like.
And we got some punchy imps taking
time there we go.
Early on.
Plus 5 Thor Hammer. I can't remember. Can the knight swing the Thor Hammer, or is it White Wizard exclusive?
I don't know that offhand.
Well, I'm sure that someone in chat is more than willing to tell us on that front. But Yeah, no, like I said, we're already out of the weeds when it comes to spells, with both runners managing to get the jump on that imp fight. So,
And now
yeah.
both are in Toph. Pickles and Beer had the early check on that first slower chest. It was just a cabin. Got some gold and a great axe +4.
Yeah, so that's our early game melee power right there. That's actually probably good enough to handle anything up until Temple of Fiends Revisited. We're going to want something better for that, and thank you, Danny, for letting us know that the knight can't swing the Thor hammer. So, +5 Thor hammer, not necessarily ideal, but we have seen in this flag set a white mage with a high-powered Thor hammer push through. And that is our rod and our canal out of the King and the Princess.
ADR getting through, checking the preview of the Fiends with the bats. Got a rude thunder let off by Garland. Had to do a quick reset and try again, but he's through.
Yeah. Didn't quite catch what Chaos is rocking, but okay, thank you, Rubes. So it looks like we are seeing crack out of Chaos. But yeah. Alright, so finally getting our rod and our canal from the King of the Princess. So we do start with a canoe in this flag set, so the southern continent is completely open to us. And we are guaranteed a ship will be accessible without needing to leave it. So,
all right, Pickles and Beer taking on some pirates.
Yep, this is not going to go well for them.
Does it ever?
Yes. No, like one of our first tournaments, the final match was actually decided by pirates.
And look at that. Big pirate captain is saying, hey, you know what? Randomizer or not, take a ship.
Yeah. No, like, if you've noticed that we specifically have a flag that makes pirates safe or unsafe, that's why. One of the first tournaments in this community, the pirates rolled Thunder.
Ooh.
And this was before, like, all of the niceties that, like, let you go places other than Provoca and Canary at the start of the game. Ooh, that's Life 2 at level 2 white. So that's learnable by both characters, and there's our other temper and warp.
I got lots and lots of tempers, and that's going to be nice for moving around with the warp. And as we're looking through those spells there, I do see we have a raid coming in from Speed Gaming 2. Welcome in all raiders. As we're in this early into the match between ADR and Pickles and Beer in our winter tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as a quick shotgun for folks who maybe haven't seen this before, basically both runners are attempting to find and defeat 2 of the fiends. We know where they are, we just need to be able to get access to fight them. We're also looking for a couple of other key items in order to be able to access the final dungeon. Then we go into the final dungeon and we fight the things that are there, and it will probably be painful. Both runners have opted to take only 2 characters today, and no replacing them. So the fighter and the red mage are our party on both sides. This is not necessarily standard for this tournament. Oh, hey, there's the crown. But it is what these runners have opted to do, as is within their rights by the rules. So right now we are kind of in a wander around and discover a bunch of useful things. But
Pickles and Beer seeing the cube coming from the sages, and I didn't see or not, did Pickles and Beer check the item shop in Provoca to see that crown there?
I don't know if he did. So that could come up, but for the moment... Oh, ADR taking Peninsula Power Play. And yeah, it looks like we do have a few folks in chat who remember the Thunder Pirates, which again is the reason we now have a flag that explicitly bans pirates from having scripts. And Pickles and Beer making an early play into Volcano.
I'm probably gonna check some spike tiles, at least check the armory, and then we'll see if he does commit to a full dive or not.
Well, it's one of those things with the amount of experience that's getting pumped into these two characters, and the melee offense we already have with that great axe in hand on the fighter. It's not the worst. Like, if you can find a comfortable grind in here, like, they're already level 10.
Yeah, it's going pretty quick.
Yeah. Like, that red mage already has axe. Like, just the first 2 spell levels have given us a lot of tools to work with. Almost too many. I didn't get a chance to call this out because there was so much happening, but you actually have some decisions to make with that level 2 magic, because you had Life 2, Lit 3, Temper, and Warp available. Personally, I'd leave the Lit 3 behind and just go Life 2, Temper, and Warp. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. You've already got the level 1 AoE magic, so I don't think with the priority of those other spells, I think definitely leave that behind.
Yeah. I mean, we do also have that Thor hammer, so we kind of do have some lit coverage. Also, we did just pull a Bane sword and a mage stick out of the treasury here.
And a gold bracelet.
Oh, yeah. So, we are rolling in it.
ADR taking those levels, went ahead and stayed up there close to provoke us to go ahead and buy that item so he never has to come back this way again.
That play. Also, apologies, folks, if the tracking is a little slower than you're used to. I am also the tracker today, and I sometimes get focused on what's happening on screen and not clicking buttons. But hey, there's level 3 nuke. Yeah, the nice thing about checking level 3 black magic is if there's only one spell you want, you can just go ahead and grab it, and even if you want both the white magic spells, you got enough room. Because you can only learn 2 white magic spells on that red mage.
And ADR going to turn in this crown, taking on Astos, and Pickles and Beer has left Volcano.
Alright, so that was a quick armory dive to gear up. And yeah, I can completely get why Pickles and Beer is taking this approach, because he hasn't seen what else is out there. But ADR went ahead, fought Astos. What did we get out of that?
That was the bottle.
Thank you.
And Marsh for ADR.
Yeah, I've only got one eye here, so I do need the backup. Yeah, so Pickles and Beer looks... Oh, okay. So, saw that crown, went to Volcano for the money.
Okay.
So, I like the play, and we are... So, ADR, a little bit of an early advantage on exploration, and progression. Pickles and Beer, though, looking a little bit better on that gear. And I'm not sure if ADR is the kind of person, like, some runners will favor kind of holding off on going to Volcano until they find their airship. Or just using it sort of as a last resort, well, I need more power before I can go anywhere else that I can go, kind of a deal. And TNT out of Marsh Cave. So, that's an easy turn-in.
And Astos knocking down that fighter.
Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, there we go. And that red mage jumping up to level 14. You love to see it. Okay, I love to see it. I like red mages.
I do too. I'm a red mage fan.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You gotta love the versatility. But, so, ADR, like I said, gonna go ahead and check on these dwarves. We have something throwing frost out in this formation. And Pickles and Beer's fighter cannot catch a break.
Not at all, but luckily the red mage has got those life 2 charges on backup.
Yeah, wait, Do the Sahags have Death Touch? Like, that was a very fast death for a fighter that was brought up with life too.
And I didn't see exactly, but whatever they did have, Pickles and Beer wanted nothing to do with it. And that's a ribbon -3 coming from the TNT turn-in.
Alright, so we are going to have to go farther afield to find further progression. So, with the flags we have on, with the ship, you have access to the Castle of Ordeals. We can get to Bahamut, and we have a flag that moves all of the treasure in the Cardia Islands into Bahamut's chamber, and puts a key item there. We can get to Onrak via boat, which opens up the waterfall. We already have the vendor item, so that's not in play. And if we find the ruby in any of those locations, we also now have access to a key item that's in the Titan's Tunnel and Sarda. And ice. I did forget that we have ice as well, so... And yeah, so ADR giving us a look at level 5 magic here in Melman. We didn't check level 4 shop on either side, did we?
No, I don't think other than check... oh, hold on, there was the check for, No, that was level 3 that we checked, and with the so no, level 4 still hasn't been looked at, but we do have exit in that first slot for white magic. So that's, and then heal 3 in slot 4, but I guess that's not really much of a help.
Also do have lock available at level 5. I think after promotion. I know slot 3 is promo locked, and Rube seems really confident that slot 2 is also promo locked, so I'm going to trust Rube's. Mostly because I don't feel like pulling up my little chart. So, we haven't seen Fast yet, and it might be lurking at that level 4, but if we don't find Fast, Lock is going to come into play. Because if you can't double up your character's swings, you can at least use Lock to make sure that most of them land. Alright, yeah. So Rube's confirming, or at least doubling down on Red Mage, learning slots 1 and 4, and then the other 2 are locked until you're Red Wizard.
Okay, and ADR using the quick use of that warp to get through the teleporter puzzle.
Very do the pillar maze, so having that early warp makes it really easy to jump back until you find the right path. So Pickles and Beer about to pick up his ribbon, and there is the ruby on ADR's side, so
We still got some journeying to do.
yeah. So Kylio, where do you go at this point if you're in ADR's position? Are you thinking go ahead and swing down to Bahamut and Waterfall, or are you thinking double back to Melmond?
I think the Bahamut is a quick check, especially when you've got warp. So since you're there, I would check that and then head on down to turn in that ruby. And then you've got the rod, so you can also do an early. You can check some spike tiles in Earth. I think there's just a few more options down that way. Personally, I think is what I would do.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is both of these runners already have more than enough power to deal with the Lich. Just straight up, Lich is not a threat. Oh, and I don't think ADR's actually been over to Crescent, has he? No, he hasn't. He went to Elfland and then has been following key items since. So,
because I think the cube came from Crescent.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking, because I was making sure I didn't miss anything, and I was like, I didn't miss ADR hitting the sages, and yeah, so. Alright, so Pickles and Beer gonna probably go check level 4 magic before heading down to Ordeals. And there is our slab from the Titan's Trove. And then ADR going to go ahead, go hit Sarda up, see what we can get there. Of note, we have not seen either our key or our loot yet, so those looking to be probably a little more persnickety than usual.
That's what it's looking like.
We'll have to see, because we've still got 3 locations we haven't looked at yet. Well, 4 locations, including Sarda here, that are not floater locked. So odds are looking good. At least one of them is going to require us to get that floater and get the airship off the ground. But
Okay, level 4 whites, Cure 3, Mute, and Life and Anti-Fire.
yeah, and all right. Well, there's our chime. So
Each one are having the opposite of what's needed for a full sky play.
yeah, I don't. You know, I could almost see someone like, because Pickles and Beer is almost certainly going to follow this Ruby from Ordeals, so he'll have that sky access. Running 2 characters with sky access and that low level nuke, I think you make that play. You've got nuke, you've got infinite lit 2, you've got fire 3. There's very little in sky to be afraid of, and sky gives a lot of experience if you just take the fights that you can manage.
Yeah, plus if he's still looking for more things in chests, I think that's if I have the ability to get to go through sky and at least check a lot of those boxes, a lot of times it pays out.
Yeah. So it is not nearly as common a play to see folks go to sky in these flags, simply because sky is by far the slowest fiend dungeon, but it is definitely a play you see from time to time, because runners do recognize the power they can pull out of sky.
And the ADR now also picking up that cube from the sages.
I was checking it off already. I saw that.
And headed to ice.
That's what's looking like, yeah. So possibly thinking, probably thinking that the floater is likely to be here. And it is worth pointing out, we do have sky access even without the floater. The same flag that gives us access to Onrak and the waterfall also gives us access to the floater the Mirage Desert, by adding docks in those 2 areas. So even if ADR doesn't pull a floater out here, he could just say, you know what? I can go fight Lich, I can go fight Tiamat. By the time I do those 2 things, I should have the power to handle this. And I think I have a sneaking suspicion that we may see Pickles make that play once he's got a chime in hand. Like, that kind of gamble just is something I can't recall specifically seeing him do, but I feel like I've seen him do.
And comment in chat, I'm with Rubes. If the whole overworld is ice, why go to Ice Cave? Haven't you? That's enough ice for me for one day.
I mean, it's one of those things, we don't know how cold it is outside. Like, this could be, a nice 25 degrees Fahrenheit here in Ice Cave, whereas, like, with the wind chill outside could be, in the teens or single digits or even lower. Like, this might be the warmest spot in the world right now. Aside from the volcano.
You can spin it any way you like. I'm never gonna like diving ice.
Milk is the ruby. So one of the fun percent flags that the randomizer allows for changes what you feed the Titan. So if you see a beverage or food item, it is almost always going to be the Titan. And the eye moving like 3 tiles to the right and 3 tiles up. That's the mage tile that we have found the eye on today, and ADR is saying, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get some power here.
Yeah, I mean, if you see it there, you might as well take it. It'll go really quick with just the 2-man. Katana +3 coming from Bahamut's Horde. Hate to see it.
But that's always how this works. Pickles and Beer finished up ordeals, right?
Yeah, because he got the ruby.
Okay.
Or what? The milk.
Yeah, that's right. That's what prompted that conversation. Thank you. Alright, so... No, Rubes. No, not CCC. I don't think we've really seen anyone, like, make a play into mermaids this tournament. Which it makes sense. We're using the better trap treasure flag, which puts all of the good stuff behind, like, certain chests that you usually have to win a fight for, to get to. Well, there's our loot.
So ice definitely required.
Yeah. The question is, where's Pickles and Beer going once he's collected his slab and his chime? Yeah. So it's one of those things. Mermaids, often a source of good looting. In this flag set, not really incentivized, because the stuff that you want is probably going to be in one of those better trap chests. But there is the chime for Pickles and Beer.
And another Thor +5 hammer.
That, yeah, I mean, you toss that onto your red mage, you now have unlimited fire. ADR has not picked up a weapon this entire seed. He has been subsisting entirely on AoEs. That's amazing. So, I mean, I think Pickles and Beer has also been part of the AoE party.
On a white shirt coming out of the lower chest there, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, notably that is not a better trap treasure room, I believe. Or if it is, the randomizer is very committed to giving you cabins.
Well,
yeah.
Have you seen how cold it is out there? Giving cabins makes sense.
True enough, and yeah, Rube's confirming it is, and I didn't think it was. Because, like, every time I've seen someone open those boxes, it's been just garbage. At least the one that you actually have to win a fight to get into. This Frost Dragon, a little bit sturdy. Flame Armor +2 and a Wear Sword. +5, it looked like. Or Flame Armor +1 and a +5 Wear Sword. So, ADR didn't pick up that Great Axe. And is going to go back to fight more eyes. Now that he's got a weapon, this is going to go faster. Oh, yeah.
Squishy eyes, that.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, even with the way the scaling works here, eyes are just going to be squishy. It is their nature. It looks like Pickles and Beer also decided to do Ice Cave. So, we'll see if he checks that mage tile as well. But we're very likely to see both of these runners just grind until they're happy.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the right play.
Yeah. Well, at this point, they know that, or they should know that fast just isn't going to be readily accessible. There's only one red wizard learnable spell they haven't seen yet, and 8 possible spots that fast can land.
And Pickles and Beer is going around. He went just around right through the middle tile there. So we'll see if he does go and check that other tile or not. And ADR is out of ice now. He looks like he said, this grind's gone long enough. I've got what I need. On to the next thing.
Yeah. And it may have just been, you know, a matter of knowing that his opponent is similarly disposed when it comes to gaining experience. You know, it could just be a matter of, I've just got to get moving. I don't have time to sit here all day. My fighter's strong enough, and my red mage is strong enough now. Because ADR could have been just looking for get enough experience on this red mage to be able to comfortably get nukes safe before you hit Temple of Fiends Revisited.
And as a they don't have to take the grind as much further. It's just as a reminder for these the blessings for these, we have a 20% added hit for the fighter and 10% added hit for the red mage. So they are doing some swinging.
Mm-hmm. And we are going to head to Onrak, it looks like. Probably going to hit Waterfall for a floater. And we may see ADR make the Kraken play, but yeah, Pickles and Beer already opened the box from the back, right? So I can mark off his loot.
No, he's not gone back up there yet.
Oh, he didn't to get the
I mean, if he did, it was really quick and I missed it. But I mean, he'll be walking out with it.
Chat also missed it, so we'll see. We'll just have to keep an eye on the item menu if he doesn't drop down here to collect. But yeah. Okay, well, I'll uncheck the loot if it comes to that. But right now, we are doing some quick redecorating. Moving some stuff around. Okay, now he's collecting the loot. Or the harpsichord, it looks like.
And get the crystal out of Waterfall.
Yeah,
and
Marcy
Beer does not see that eye grind in ice.
Yeah. So, as well as renaming the ruby, we also have a flag that renames the instrument that is necessary to get into Temple of Fiends. And today, it is a harpsichord. Alright, looks like ADR at least gonna poke his head into Onrak. And that was all. Alright, so...
Just for some quick shopping.
Yeah. So, the thing is Pickles and Beer, I think, took a couple of fights that ADR didn't see. So, he may be thinking that, like, his levels are good enough to get to a place where he can get the levels. So, fishing for that eye grind, not necessarily something that is necessary. Yeah, he's got a level 20 character already. So... ADR taking that grind, a little bit of an advantage, but probably going to balance out in the long term.
And Toya's Closet not having anything that interesting. Giving up the herb for the crystal.
Is even randomized.
Let's see, so far we got a ship from the pirates and herbs from the witch. So maybe?
That's what.
Now we'll see on Pickles and Beer side if he decides to do a sea dive, and maybe we see a sea dive and then sky play as the two orbs.
So ADR going to continue chasing that herb. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, so ADR had the heads-up move there of sailing south from Onrak to visit Matoya from the outer side of the continent, and then just had to sail around the world to collect the thing.
And now that's a floater coming from the elves, so ADR is about to pop up into the air.
All right, so now we'll find out what his game plan is in terms of which fiends he's after. Because the other thing to note, we still need that key. Which I believe at this point, Adamant, Tail, and Key are still outstanding. So one of these checks here in Guy and Lefane is going to lead to the Key, and the other one is going to lead to the Tail. I think. Oh wait, no, we haven't seen the Vorpal yet.
Well, there's the Tail.
There's the Tail. Key item location haven't we checked yet? Canary locked.
Yep.
All right, so
be Adamant to the Key. Key will have the Vorpal.
So Canary locked will have the Vorpal sword. And ADR getting that Tail promotion is going to be able to swing the Vorpal. So yeah, I think at this point, right now I'd say the runners are basically neck and neck. Lead from here is going to depend in part on which Fiend dungeons they opt to do and what's rolled. Yeah, we got the ribbon that came out of Narek. So, yeah, Adamant is going to come out of Lefane, and Lefane, and that's going to lead us to the Key, and the Key is going to lead to the Vorpal. So, we do at least know the outlines of where our stuff is at this point.
You're picking up that Oxio, but probably just gonna keep that in his backpack.
Oh yeah, that's right. Adam didn't have the Oxio when he was in on-rack. Duh. Local tracker forgets to look at the buttons he's clicking. All right.
So that stop translated, just a nice visit to the Levane Superstore to just top off on all your magics and go, go, go.
Indeed. So, and yeah, we know that ADR's got some good picks here. Well, all right, he's got Life 2 for the night, and that's really all you need. You could theoretically pick up Harm 3, let the knight do something to undead packs that doesn't, waste the Bread Mage's spell charges.
And Pickles and Beer will be heading to the air very shortly.
Yeah.
Lefane has the key.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So then we know our Adamant is in Canaria Treasury, and that'll give us the Vorpal. Either way. But yeah, so both of our runners are now airborne. I'm not sure Pickles and Beer has turned in his slab yet, but the way he's moving, I think that's about to be changed.
Yeah, he's gonna go get that turned in. And probably gonna go do make sure all his spells are where he wants them as well.
Yeah. And if you're sitting here thinking, I don't remember this really big building from Vanilla, that's because it ain't. That's an adjustment the randomizer makes. Or can make. But either way, we have completed our shopping trip for ADR, and Pickles is going to be right behind. So yeah, this is really going to come down to which Fiend dungeons do these two opt to take. And how rude are their choices. If they both pick the same ones, then Adam is going to have a probably 2-minute lead getting into Topher.
And keep in mind, if they both do Volcano, Pickles and Beer has already rated that bottom level, so he'll be able just to fly straight through that at a little bit of a quicker pace if ADR decides to check any chests in Volcano.
Yeah, well, ADR is at least going to have the Vorpal, and if the Vorpal rolls up at all, he may just say, that's a good enough weapon. I've got extra hit percent anyway, but ADR heading into Sky. And it looked like Pickles and Beer got the tail from Gaia and bailed on LaFane. Opted to go ahead and go turn in that tail, but we're going to head to LaFane now and get the key. But yeah, so we do not have the Masamune available in these flags. Good point, Jesus the Frog. He did need the promotion before he could go shopping in LaFane, so that makes sense. But yeah, so what was I saying? I've only gotten 3 hours of sleep, so I'm a little bit loopy in places, if that's not clear.
Alright, and most likely, ADR will still be checking these chests, looking for either a saber bonk or a roost stick, just to help things just that much easier. But I think the second he finds either one or both of those, it's probably just a beeline for the orbs.
Yeah, thank you, JD Silvergun. I was talking about the lack of Masa, right? So, the Masamune, it's equivalent by everyone. It's stupidly good in everything except crit rate. It's what you would want. We don't have that available, so what we are looking for in terms of in-game weaponry is either a Vorpal sword or an Excalibur, or in a pinch maybe a defense sword or a sun sword, one of which hopefully has rolled up. Specifically because we don't have a ninja to swing one of those katana plus 3s we found, which is of course why we found a katana plus 3. So, yeah, and like Kylea was saying, ooh, there's another ribbon. So we are
better trapped, not trapped chest.
Yeah. So yeah. So the bottom line is ADR is looking for a weapon to strap to that knight. And presumably not banking on the Vorpal being good.
And if anyone missed that, that was ADR dropping that katana plus 3 from the top of Sky Palace, saying, I don't need you, and chucking it from the top of the world.
Yeah. Pickles and Beer heading straight into Sky as well. Looks like neither one of these runners is wanting to chase down the Vorpal at the moment. And yeah, JD Silvergun, that's exactly right. Black Belt is very strong without a Masa. That's why you cannot choose a Black Belt out the gate. Runners with these flags are, if they are choosing their party members, cannot have a Black Belt. You could roll a Black Belt to start out with if you allow the randomizer to force all 4 of your party members, and there is a coin toss to determine if a Black Belt will appear behind any of these fiends. So you can get a Black Belt, but the flags make it a process, and an unlikely thing.
And ADR now here at the Tier 1 fight.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to see some Brack strats coming out. Because...
Oh!
Yeah, there we go.
That worked.
Yeah, because that wear plus 5, not really doing the job. That was one hit. That was a very dodgy Tier 2, actually, because that fighter has a stupid number of swings. And yeah, I believe War Mech is standard, so a random encounter on the Bridge of Destiny. But yeah, so ADR going to go ahead and check the treasury here, see if we can find something better than a wear plus 5 on his side. I believe Pickles and Beer is still swinging that plus 4 Great Axe. I don't think we've seen anything better on his end.
And there's the adamant, so the blacksmith is going to have the weapon.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had to. The blacksmith, like, in the Final Fantasy I randomizer, key items cannot lock themselves.
-1.
Ooh. If you don't have a power bunk or fast, that's a bit disheartening. So yeah, now if we're these runners, we're really hoping to see one of the other sort of late game swords roll up. You know, a +3 X-Cal or +4 or 5 Sun Sword.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go digging through some chests here to find those. Or do they just say, you know what, level and brute force it through?
Yeah, it's still doable. It's just the Vorpal sword does not have the greatest hit boost. Ooh, +4 dragon armor and a +3 light axe. That's not the worst thing. Like, the light axe might be still a little too little. Ah! I don't feel like looking up the stat blocks if someone in chat wants to, but I feel like a +3 light axe, that's viable. That's viable if you don't find anything else.
So Pickles and Beer looking to check more chests here in Sky than what ADR did, see if it does pay off.
Yeah, thank you, Rubes. So that's 34 damage and 24 hit on a light axe +3. I feel like you can do that, because the thing is the normal issue with axes is the relatively low hit percent boost, but this knight is rocking a 20% hit, a +20 hit percent out the gate. And yeah, the crit rate isn't great, but the issue I think with a -1 Vorpal sword is just you're not getting enough attacks off with that penalty. Like, Vorpal's already kind of not great on the hit percent front, and then you take it down even further. And yeah, the crit is appears to be 29 on that light axe +3, so yeah, this is definitely a situation where, like, it's non-standard, but you have the blessings to make it work if you don't find anything better.
And Pickles and Beer picking up that other ribbon there, while ADR is making his way towards finding an Aegis shield here, making his way in the X-Cal +2.
Alright, all of that speculation was pointless. There's our weapon. Yeah, you throw the Vorpal -1 onto your red mage in case of an emergency, but that X-Cal +2 is good enough. So, ADR, not punished for not digging out either of those light axes, and gonna be getting carry taken care of. And I completely forgot to light the air orb. Might be. But yeah, so this is gonna be quick. The Excalibur hits all possible weaknesses, whether that be elemental or monster type. And yeah. And Carrie has both elemental and monster type weaknesses, so...
And with that, ADR is in full go mode.
Yeah. So...
Fading the key lock chests here, just going straight on in.
Yep. I mean, he has ribbons, he's got he's got decent enough absorb on that fighter. He's got the levels thanks to that eye grind and just the fights he took on the way up Sky. Yeah, that red mage has over 400 HP. Barely, but good enough. And yeah, no, so chat arguing that you probably would still switch the Vorpal -1 for Chaos. Again, the only reason I could see sticking with the X-Cal is we don't have fast. We're still going to get probably a reasonable number of swings out of that Vorpal, but I'd almost be willing to take the lower crit chance to get the extra couple of swings per attack. No, we have more than 2 Tempers. Temper was 2nd level black, so both runners should have plenty of temper charges.
A good amount of temper charges and enough HP to hopefully survive through it to get them off.
I mean, it's one of those things. Temper doesn't help with the number of hits, though. It can make sure each of those hits connects, but I don't know. We'll see what these runners opt to do, and if they do different things.
Because we are now on Tiamat here.
And yeah, the other thing about that temper strat is that is assuming that chaos doesn't, obliterate your red mage first turn. So.
And Lich 2 down on ADR side.
I do appreciate that you even attempted to act like Lich 2 was going to be worth talking about.
And for the few seconds he's on screen, got to give him some sort of airtime.
Okay, Chan again. I'm aware it's going to be fine. My job is to try and make this interesting. If I actually am just like, yeah, he'll blow through this, then people leave. Try to keep up with what the entertainment here is supposed to be, okay?
picklesandbeer letting that air orb and is on his way to the next dungeon. Gonna get that second orb lit.
Yeah, peek behind the curtain, folks. My job is to try and keep this exciting. That means lying to the audience sometimes, who don't know better.
And picklesandbeer should be just going straight on through because he already checked these chests, so we'll be quick on this carry dive unless he just has to keep check more chests here. And you are getting a really good time boost there with that Brack onto Tia 1. Nuke coming out against Kraken, 4 hits, 320, and Kraken 2 is down.
Yeah. So the big thing for Pickles and Beer is that Excalibur was in a relatively easy check. So even if he fades like the corner checks here, he should still open the box that has the Excal, but he's checking all the boxes. He'll see the Excal. It's good. Almost doubles back for that black shirt, but thinks better of it.
Yeah, not really a need for that. Defense
and this is an evasive Tia 2. And this is what I'm talking about. Without fast, hit the number of swings you're able to connect becomes an issue. And it doesn't look like ADR picked up Lock. Or Lock 2.
And down goes Tia 2.
Nuke gets the job done. Alright, so he does have Lock, so he may just be conserving those for Chaos. Slow 2 landed. That also doesn't help. But I mean, that is out of the pool for Chaos at least, but... Also, I wasn't looking at Pickle's side. Anyone see if he found the Excalibur?
I found another ribbon.
That's so helpful for the two-man strategy.
I didn't see him switch up any gear, so I do not think that he did find that Excal.
Alright, well, that's going to be interesting, but ADR is going to go ahead and start throwing those Tempers out. Crack first thing out. The ribbon's doing their job. That looked like 3 hits, 4 hits. Yeah, like, see, this is what I was saying. The crits on the Vorpal, the issue you theoretically be running into is you're only getting, 1 or 2 hits landing off of that Vorpal. Yeah. So, yeah, he's swinging the Excal, and I think ultimately this may have been the stronger play, just because I think the gain in number of swings you're getting balances out the loss on the crit rate. Because, yeah, that's 6 hits, 600 damage. Temper's just flying out continuously. This chaos is going to go down here in a minute.
519 damage on that last one. Crack, not going to work.
Yeah, I think this might be the Warmex script on chaos. Because I don't think we've seen any spells. I think this has just been skills and attacks.
And get your GG's out for ADR. That is chaos down.
Indeed. And that is an official racetime.gg time of 51 minutes and 36 seconds. And that stop right there is for Pickles and Beer congratulating ADR, and he should be popping into... ADR should be joining us here in a second. So, I'll let him know he can come up whenever. Ah, there we go. All right. Adam, GG.
GG.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So, lots of things happened in this seed. So, I guess kind of the first question, what kind of influenced you to double back and do Ice Cave before, say exploring some of the other possibilities, like the Bahamut Onrax swing?
Basically, I didn't want to stop at Bahamut until I had Tail, and I didn't want to go up to the Onrax area unless I was in that area to begin with. So I had to go down to Crescent Lake anyway to check the sages, and then figure if I'm there, might as well just keep going.
Makes sense. So normally this is the part where I'd ask about party comp choices, but you two kind of just let the randomizer take the wheel there. So, was that kind of... were you or Pickles the one who proposed the, let's just take the 2 forced characters and call it a day?
I think I proposed it, but we play together in the morning games quite a bit, and Kale has been throwing that up several times, so it was no surprise that he'd be up to play the game.
Alrighty. Yeah, so... Yeah, sorry, this is one of those things, like, honestly, you and Pickles followed very similar routes pretty much the entire season. There's not, like, a lot of divergence decisions to talk about. So the sky play that you made, I'm guessing that is a matter of, like, you didn't feel like you had the gear yet, so Sky provides, and it's also an opportunity to pick up some more experience.
Yeah, and in general, I just like taking Sky anyway. Tia can... I was just watching the stream, I saw a power block water. That's funny.
Beautiful.
But Sky Volcano is kind of my go-to in these flags, assuming the items land that way. And so, unless the seed pushes me a different direction, that's just where I want to go.
It makes sense. And yeah, so... Do you also regularly check the mage tile if you haven't found a grind yet? Or was that just, you felt like it today and it paid off?
I usually don't do that, but I've seen other people do it. And today I'm like, oh, let's go see what we have. And eyes, you can't complain about that.
Oh, not at all. That was such a soft eye. I think you were swinging a wear +5 and taking it out with 1 hit.
My first time going through, I didn't have any weapon at all.
Yeah.
So after blowing a few spell charges, I'm like, oh, let's go through the rest of ice, see what I can find. And then the wear sword came up. Let's go back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I even noticed, like, when you were down on the bottom floor of ice, like, wait, ADR hasn't found a weapon yet. He's just been blasting everything.
There was a great axe in Topher, but I ended up wiping out of that with Garland and didn't want to go back.
Yeah, Pickles was swinging that great axe most of the seed. I don't know what I think he wound up cycling off it. I'm not sure what he's got equipped now. I don't think we don't think he found the X-Scal in Volcano. He was opening some of the other boxes, but and I'm sure Eagle-Eyed Chat has already corrected me. No, he did find it. But speaking of the X-Scal, we were kind of debating. Well, okay, I was arguing with Chat, as is my wont. What influenced your decision to keep the X-Cal on, or did you just forget to swap off of it?
I think the X-Cal, especially when it rolls up versus a negative Vorpal, is just a generally better call. And I also like to keep something on the Red Mage just in case. That Tia 2, when that slow 2 landed, it was time to switch to some backup strategy. And Red Mages, I ended up going with a couple Brax and then Nuke, but when the Vorpal's on the Red Mage, that's also a viable plan to just start swinging that and see what happens. And both Fighter and Red Mage had a plus hit percent bonus to seed too. So keeping some weapon on that Red Mage means you have a plan B and a plan C if it comes down to it.
So jumping back to the eye thing, what was kind of your goal with leveling there? Was there a particular experience level you were looking to get, a particular HP value you were looking for? Were you looking for, like, number of swings on the fighter? What was kind of your, alright, that's enough eye killing for now?
I think at that point, level 26 was on the mind. Level 26 is my go-to level for Topher preparedness with a fighter party. And after talking to those spoiler bats early on, the only thing they said that scared me was Tia. So I didn't really want to spend too much time on the grind and throw away the victory at that point. But you also want to be strong enough to take a strong walk, and level 26 is just my go-to number for that.
Alright. Makes sense. Yeah, it looks like Pickles and Beer was 31 after cracking on at least one of his characters. So, yeah, he didn't find the eye tile. I think he wound up getting his experience just taking some extra fights in Sky.
Those Sky fights are a little chunky. I tried taking some of those Chimeras and they just would not go down.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things at that point, there was a lot, like, you were digging up boxes in Volcano, so I wasn't paying too much attention to what Pickles was up to, and then you were into Temple of Fiends when he was hitting up Volcano, so admittedly I kind of lost track of things. Kylie, I don't know if you were looking a little more carefully.
I know Pickles and Beer definitely was checking a lot of other chests. It looks like he did find the power bonk. I don't see where he picked that up, but I'm guessing that was
Mission chests.
Yeah.
It was on the left side of the loot tile.
Yeah, I was saying that considering he was at Topher, that had to be where that was. And he also he ended up finding that defense sword for his knight as well. And that was, I think that gear wise, that's the biggest difference between the two.
Yeah. Because, yeah, you both took, like, I'm not even kidding, y'all basically took the same route. I think the biggest point of divergence is like, one of you went to Ordeals early, while the other one went to Sarda first or something. Like, that was just about the biggest difference. Well, that and, like, Pickles and Beer went to Crescent Lake first, while you went over to Elfland and Marsh Cave first. But it was not a very big amount of divergence. But yeah, Pickles into this Chaos fight, throwing up the ruses, throwing up the defense sword. We already know this Chaos doesn't have that much to bring to the table. Like, this second round of rusing will be good enough to keep Pickles and Beer alive. So yeah, Power Bonk's coming out. We'll see what he's swinging here, because I'm not entirely sure. I think he might have the Vorpal on. So we might get a chance to see what the better strat was. Yeah, that's got to be the Vorpal that he's got equipped, because I'm not seeing any other weapons. Unless he's swinging that Thor Hammer +5 that y'all started the game with. Yeah, well, this is we're kind of in this power bonking loop. Yeah, Pickles and Beers is going to stack up the power bonks, it looks like, and then just go for it.
5 hits, 1200 damage.
Yeah, okay, this is fine. Power Bonk provides. But yeah, okay, so the Chaos, just for the record, did have only skills. So...
And get your GG's out in chat for Pickles and Beer has now down Chaos on his end as well.
Indeed. He will not be joining us for an interview today. He does need to go pick up his daughter from work, I believe. Yeah, that's what he said in chat. So probably, I can't think of much else to ask you about ADR. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up that you were thinking about the seed while chat gets those GGs out for Pickles and Beer?
Well, when I saw that katana roll up and no thief around, that's always wish I had one. Ended up throwing that thing out the window.
And then you walk past a thief.
Well, sure, we agreed to not recruit anyway.
Yeah, I know you agreed to not recruit, but it was just poetic that you threw the katana away, and then there was actually just a thief up at the top of the sky.
Yep, fun times.
But yeah, so so any other final thoughts or?
Well, I do want to say Pickles and Beer is a really great player. I'm surprised that I won it all, and much less that there's almost a 10-minute gap. But I expect to see him do really well in brackets too. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, the bigger speed boost that you got was that brack on Tia 1 to really zoom you, like just give you that little bit further ahead. But I mean, it was pretty neck and neck for like a good chunk for the majority of this.
I think a lot of it came down to you taking that eye grind and then finding a +2 excal. I think that's where a lot of the time difference came from, is just you had a different loadout than he did from a couple of different checks, and that extra power just made it so that fights that he kind of had to think his way around, you just overpowered. But yeah, so if you're still with us and you want to see more Final Fantasy Randomizer action, have you got a Thursday ahead of you? So we have, like 6 more races today. Yeah, 6 more races today, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. On, I believe, Speed Gaming Prime, with Guardian Marcus versus Not Young Me. And it's just going to keep going from there. I believe we swap to Speed Gaming 2 after that, and then we've got another Speed Gaming race after that. So there's going to be Final Fantasy Randomizer on Speed Gaming all night tonight. On top of that, we've also got races, I believe, on the FFR channel and probably also an RPG Limit Break, judging by the timings on this. So yeah, if you would like to keep apprised of when races are starting and who's racing, you can come join us over in our Discord. That's available at FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. There's a link there. There's no little notification to tell people, hey, this random person joined. So you can just sneak on and keep an eye out for more of these races. You can just follow all the Speed Gaming channels. That's also an option. That'll get you enough racing action. But otherwise, yeah, no. I'm sure some of you are getting ready to head home from work or wrap up your work day or whatever. Go grab dinner, come back here 7 Eastern. Not here, but on Twitch.
To your computer. Or your phone.
Yeah, and just come hang out and watch a lot of Final Fantasy Randomizer. It's going to be fun all night. But yeah, shout out to Speed Gaming for having us. Kyleo, thank you for joining me in the booth today. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, and I think it's going to do it for us. So, yeah, thank you, chat, for being a good chat as always, doing all the math that we can't do because we're live on Twitch. And I'm just going to surreptitiously light these 2 orbs on Pickles' side, because I definitely didn't forget to do that until just now.
They were lit the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. They're lit now. Obviously, they were lit in the past. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to stop rambling. We're going to get out of here. And we hope to see all of y'all later. Take care, everyone, and have a
Have a
good
good one,
night.
everybody.